If you've ever asked yourself, do I really need a torque wrench? Well, if you have, then this video is for you. What's up, guys? This is Brent with 247parts.com, and if you find value in this video, or this video happens to help you out, we just ask you please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as that helps me out as well. Now, we're going to talk a little bit today about torque wrenches and why one is necessary for you to have in your shop or garage, whether you own such things as small as a push mower, a riding lawn mower, maybe you're that small tractor owner, anything like that that's going to require that annual maintenance or service, and you're going to be doing these things by yourself on your own time, then a torque wrench is something you definitely want to have around. Now, reason why I say even if you have a push mower or maybe even a small riding lawn mower is that a torque wrench is going to come in handy on all types of equipment. Maybe you haven't ever realized, or maybe you've never taken a look, but if you look in that operator manual at such things as your blade specs, just about every mower out there in the operator manual is going to give you a blade torque spec, and what that is the amount of torque that you need to be putting on that bolt that holds that blade on. And the reason that that torque spec is put in place is to make sure that that blade is put on there tight enough that we're not going to have accidents whenever we're running that machine, having that blade maybe fly off, but also to the fact that we're not just sitting there and hitting it with an air impact and getting it so tight that we can't get it off when we need to, or that maybe we don't damage something whenever we're going back on with that. Now, some of the other places that we might see that we are going to need a torque wrench is going to be on such things as on our wheel bolts. So if you own such things as a gator or a small tractor, one of the things that you need to constantly be checking, or on that annual service or that service interval that it gives you, is going to be wheel bolt torque. So you need to have that torque wrench in your shop or in your garage. That way you can make sure that you're checking these things. You have to think about the safety part of things whenever we're talking about torques on wheels. If we have that gator, we're constantly using it, we're going out in the pasture, we're checking cattle, doing those different things, we need to make sure that we're checking the torque on those lug bolts as constant as possible to make sure that we don't have that incident where a wheel flies off out in the middle of the pasture and we end up with a problem. Or even worse, maybe we're on our tractor, we're doing a job, we have a wheel come off, and then we're really in a bind with a tractor that's sitting sideways where we could possibly have that rollover. Many different scenarios. Now, another one that really catches people up is if you are a small tractor owner, you're going to have torque specs even on things that you wouldn't have thought of. And one thing that catches a lot of people is going to be your drain plug. When you look in your operator manual on your different tractors, there will be a torque spec on your drain plug. And once again, this goes back to sort of the same idea as the blades, as we want to make sure that the torque on that drain plug is tight enough that we're not going to have that oil coming out, but we also don't want it too tight to where we can't get it off when we need to, or have that possibility of cracking or damaging the oil pan when going back on. Now, a torque wrench for a lot of people, and even for me whenever I first got started working on equipment, can be sort of an intimidating thing. A lot of them you'll look at, you can look up, they're all different kinds. They're going to be manual torque wrenches like we have here that have this roller system. Now, this one here is going to have foot-pounds, and then we also have Newton meters here. So this is going to be adaptable for either the USA standard or the metric system here. So this is a good option here. You're also going to have smaller ones. You're going to have ones that range from a certain foot-pound up to a certain foot-pound. This one here will go up to 250 foot-pounds. So this is a pretty heavy-duty torque wrench, but you have ones that can range down smaller to be right around 100 or less than 100. So you have different options depending on the type of equipment that you have. This is just going to be a deal where you need to go in and look on your specific equipment on how much torque you're going to be needing to be putting in these different areas to decide which one of these you need. Now, you can go all the way up and get into the really fancy electric torque wrenches here. You know, for large equipment mechanics, sometimes that's going to be a necessary thing, as we don't want to be torquing and waiting to possibly hear that click as you're going to see in one of these, or even in the older style torque wrenches, looking for a certain reading of a manual needle on a dial, which will flash a picture up of here of what one of those looks like. So if you're not looking for something that heavy, like I said, you have multiple different ranges of torque wrenches, but it is very important that if you own any type of equipment that does have a torque spec for those different bolts, that you definitely have one of these in place. Now, if you've never used a torque wrench before and you'd like to see how this works, I'm gonna put a link down in the description below of a video that I've done over changing some blades on a mower that does have a clip in there of using one of these. Now, it's very easy. As you can see, it looks just like a big ratchet. Most of them are it's going to have your on and off position just like you would on your ratchet. It's also going to have the availability here to change what type of torque you need here. Now, this one is pretty simple. We just have a collar here that we can raise up on, and then I can simply turn this, and as I turn it, I am changing how many foot-pounds I'm at. If I keep turning, I can tighten this up, or I can turn back and loosen it, whichever way I need to go. Now, like I said, some of these are going to have a digital reading where you can change that electronically on the scale, or some are not going to have a certain system here at all. They're going to have that needle that runs back and forth. But basically, you're just going to be able to put your socket on, start to tighten things up, and with this style here, you're going to hear that click. So if you go down in that video below, watch that, you'll see where I am tightening down those blades. You'll hear that click, and that's when I know that I've gotten to the torque that I need to be at. Now, this is just a good way to make sure you're keeping yourself safe. And once you hear that click, you know that you're at that right tightness, instead of if you were to get out your impact, maybe your air impact, or just a wrench and or a ratchet and a socket, and really tighten these things down, get them too snug to where you can't get them off. The torque wrench is the way to go. So if a torque wrench is something that you do not already have in your arsenal of tools, make sure to go and do some research, find which one is going to be best for you. Almost all major tool brands are going to carry a torque wrench here, so make sure to go out there, find which one's best for you. You can usually go to your local auto parts store, maybe your farm and ranch store, or even the big box stores like Walmart and Lowe's, places like that. And you can go out and find one of these that can help you do the job that you need to do today. But guys, I hope this video was helpful. I hope maybe you found some value in this video. And if you did, we just ask you to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, as that helps us out as well. Now, if you feel like I left anything out or you have any other questions or comments, make sure to leave those down in the comments section below so I can be sure to get back with you. Also, guys, if you're looking for any parts for your John Deere equipment, whether it be for your lawnmowers, tractors, gators, compact construction equipment, whatever those things are, make sure to go check us out at 247parts.com, where you can go get all of those parts needs. And also, if you're just looking for more videos on more information about equipment in general, make sure to go check out our other channel, Western Equipment. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Hey guys, make sure to go buy your parts right here and subscribe right here.